Section 29 of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, translated by Courtney Langdon. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Inferno, Canto 29. The Eighth Circle, Fraud. The 10th Trench, Falsifiers of Metals.
The many people and unheard-of wounds had caused my eyes to be so drunk with tears, that fain they were to linger there and weep. But Virgil said,
At what art gazing still? Why is it that thine eyes still rest down there among the wretched mutilated shades? Thou didst not thus when in the other trenches. Consider then, if thou propose to count them, that this trench circles 22 miles, and that the moon is now beneath our feet. Short is the time allowed us still, and more there is to see than what thou seest here.
If thou hadst heeded, I thereat replied, the reason for my gazing there, thou wouldst perhaps have granted me a longer stay. Meantime my leader on his way was going, and I behind him moving, as I made my answer, adding, in that hollow place whereon I kept mine eyes so steadily, I think a spirit sprung from mine own blood bewails the fault so dearly paid for there. Thereat my teacher said,
Let not thy thoughts hereafter break on him. Heed other things, and there let him remain. For at the foot of that small bridge I saw him point thee out, and with his finger fiercely threaten thee. Geri del Bello I then heard him called. So wholly wast thou then intent on him who formerly possessed Hautefort, that thou, till he departed, didst not look beyond.
Leader, said I, his death by violence, which is not yet avenged for him by any who shared the shame, made him indignant. That, as I believe, was why he went away without addressing me. He thus has caused me to pity him the more. We thus conversed till we had reached the first place on the crag, whence, had there been more light, the next ravine had to its very bottom been revealed. When we o'er Malebolge's final cloister were situated so that its lay brethren could be perceived by us, uncouth laments, which had their arrowheads with pity barbed, so pierced me through and through, that with my hands I closed mine ears. Such pain as there would be, if from the hospitals of Valdichiana, Maremma, and Sardinia, from July until September, all diseases came together in one ditch. Such was it here. And out of it there came a stench like that which out of rotting limbs is wont to come. Adown the last bank of the lengthy crag we went, as ever to the left, and then much clearer was my vision toward the bottom, wherein the servant of the Most High Lord, Justice infallible, is punishing the falsifiers she recordeth here. I do not think it were a sadder sight to see the whole race in Aegina sick, when so suffused with poison was the air, that all the animals, down to the little worm, fell dead, and when the ancient race of people, according to what poets hold for truth, out of the seed of ants restored themselves. Than now it was to see the spirits languish down in that gloomy ditch in different heaps. One on his belly lay, and others leaned against each other's shoulders, while another crawled on all fours along the dismal path. Without conversing, step by step we moved, both looking at and listening to the sick, who could not raise their bodies. Two of these I then saw sitting, and against each other leaning, just as a pan against a pan is leaned to warm, and spotted o'er with scabs from head to foot. And never have I seen a currycomb plied by a boy for whom his master waited, or by one who kept awake against his will, as each oft plied upon himself the edge of fingernails for the great rage of itching, which hath else no help, their nails kept scraping down their scabs, as doth a knife the scales of brim, or fish of other kinds equipped with larger scales.
O thou that with thy fingers flay'st thyself,
to one of them my leader then began,
and who at times dost pincers make of them, pray tell us whether Latin any be of those in here, so may thy nails suffice thee for thy work eternally.
We both of us whom thou beholdest here so spoiled are Latin,
answered one who wept.
but who art thou that didst inquire of us?
My leader thereupon said,
I am one who with this living man from ledge to ledge descend, and who propose to show him hell.
Thereat the common back was broken up, and trembling each of them turned round toward me, with others who had heard him by rebound. Then my good teacher drew close up to me, and said,
Say whatsoever thou wilt to them.
Hence, since he so had wished it, I began, So may your memory never fly away from human minds in that first world of ours, but rather under many suns survive. Pray tell me who ye are, and of what people. Nor let your foul and loathsome punishment make you afraid to show yourselves to me.
I of Arezzo was, and Albero da Siena had me burned.
One then replied,
But what I died for doth not bring me here. 'Tis true I said to him, although in jest, that I knew how to raise me in the air, and he, who, curious, had but little sense, wished me to show that art to him, and only because I did not make him Daedalus, he had me burned by one who treated him as son. But to the last trench of the 10, Minos, who may not make mistakes, condemned me for the alchemy I practised in the world.
Then to the poet I, Now was there ever a people as vainglorious as the men of Siena? Surely not the French by far. Whereat the other leprous one who heard me replied to what I said.
Excepting Striga, who moderation knew in what he spent, and Nicolo, who was the first to find the costly use of cloves in gardens where such seed takes root, excepting too the company on whom Kachadashan wasted his vineyard and great forest land, while Dabalyato squandered all his sense. But so that thou mayst know who backs thee thus against the men of Siena, point thine eyes toward me, that well my face may answer thee. So shalt thou see that I'm Capocchio's shade, who meddles falsified by alchemy. And thou, if well I see thee, shouldst recall how good an ape of nature I was once.
End of Inferno, Canto 29.